Thank you so much with the Tarrence family. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Addison.
Hi.
It's good to see you guys. We were just talking about the last time we were together, and that was during the Maple Leaf Parade
Yes.
because we had the heroes aboard our lacrosse radio group float.
Yes.
And some of the things that we were able to experience during a long parade like that is sometimes things that you won't see the rest of the year. So we had a great time with that. And I was just thinking about our La Crescent connection, which is huge, by the way. We'll get into that in just a minute. But Bruce Bauer from Bauer's Apple Market
Yep.
gave us the straw bales to sit on and the beautiful flowers that we decorated with. Next year, I had a thought. Do you remember how the straw was poking us and sticking to our pants? I'm bringing a stadium blanket next year. We already have that on the list, so that's something we're going to plan.
Good idea.
We are asking for pledges to come in at 781-1477. We haven't even come to a number yet, what we're going to ask for. We have no idea. We already have 2, and the interview hasn't even started.
That's awesome.
Yay!
Addison, you're a very popular little girl. Did you know that?
No.
Well, you are. And we have the Miracle team from Viterbo, and they are part of the Dance Marathon organization. They're answering the phones.
Yay!
So we are going to finish big, and we have a surprise coming. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll have a surprise coming. So, Cara, can we revisit the beginning of our story here with Addison? Would you be okay and share that with us?
Sure.
Okay.
So Addison was born March 12th, 2007, healthy, hit all of her milestones, walked at 11 months. About 18 months, we noticed some things that just seemed a little off. Mainly, she would fall, like just randomly she would be standing and she would fall to the ground. And we were like, well, that's not really normal, we don't think. But she was our first child, so we didn't really know. Well, then as the couple more months went by, people were asking us why she walked so funny. And we're like, okay, well, she does walk on her tiptoes, and she doesn't go up and down stairs, and maybe we should have her checked out. So we actually took her to an orthopedic doctor, and he did a couple different things with her over a course of a few months. Everything, as far as he was concerned, was fine. Sent us over to a neurologist, and after evaluating Addison, she advised us that we were looking at Addison probably having some form of a muscle disorder.
And then what went through your mind at that point?
We were scared. We didn't really know what to expect. I think we were a little bit in shock. They did tell us that they suspected that it was spinal muscular atrophy. They asked us not to go home and research it on the internet until we knew for sure.
So what did you do?
We, of course, went home and researched it on the internet. And now I know why. They would not want someone to do that. The things that we read, progressive, genetic, most children die before the age of 2. It's hard to, as a young parent, and with your first child especially, imagine what is happening at that point.
Well, of course.
And so we went through all these different tests. About 4 weeks went by. They called us back to the hospital, took us in a room, and told us that Addison did indeed have spinal muscular atrophy. And I don't remember a whole lot of what the doctors said that day, and I know my husband's kind of feels the same way. It was almost like they were talking, but we weren't really hearing them because the shock was so heavy. And then it dawned on us, this is genetic, and we were holding Addison's 8-month-old sister. So that same day, we also had to have her tested, which thankfully she does not have it. She could be a carrier. But
how long did it take for the test results to come back?
It takes about a month. It takes about 4 weeks to get them back. So it's a long, long 4 weeks.
Was it in your thoughts all the time?
It was in our thoughts all the time. When Addison actually got tested and we were waiting for her results to come back, it was over the holidays. It was between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that was really hard. We think they probably knew before Christmas, but waited to tell us until January 5th of 2010 is actually our D-Day, our diagnosis day. And it was just a few months before Addison turned 3.
So what has been happening since then?
So at that point, Addison was still walking. She then eventually got a walker, and then a manual wheelchair and a power stander. But eventually, we could tell things were starting to progress as far as her disease and her weakness. And basically, what is happening is the motor neurons that control her muscle movement are slowly dying. It's very similar to like ALS in adults. And so, unfortunately, there is no cure for it. And we do know that it is only going to get worse and it is only going to progress. About a year and a half ago, spring of 2015, Addison would have been 8. She quit walking. And that was very hard for me and is still very hard for me a year and a half later as her mother to talk about and to handle, I guess. It's just really heartbreaking. And I think part of the heartbreak is just the loss, like the loss of the things that she won't get to experience that we really had hoped for our child. That's the hard part. It's the loss and knowing that things are just going to get worse for her.
How is your support system?
We have a really great support system. We have a really good school that she goes to. She has some really good friends. We have the most amazing family who helps us out a lot. And we have a really great church that is very supportive of Addison and actually has helped us out with getting some equipment that she needed for our home. And of course, we have Children's Miracle Network.
How did you find out about Children's Miracle Network? Do you remember?
We actually were here for some appointments, and Sheila, one of the social workers here at Gunderson, came in to talk with us and kind of told us, Children's Miracle Network is here for you, and if there's anything that we can help you with, here, he kind of told us the process of how to apply, like for a grant through Children's Miracle Network. And sometimes it's hard to swallow your pride pill and take the help that you need. And
What kind of help did you receive?
we actually asked them to help cover the cost of Addison being able to do horse therapy through Horse Sense here in La Crosse. And they have helped us cover that cost the last 3 years.
Addison, do you have a favorite horse that you ride?
Taz,
What color is Taz?
white,
And when you go there, how do you feel when you're sitting in the saddle?
nervous, but also excited
Do you feel like you're going to fall?
sometimes.
And when you're riding the horse, how does your body feel?
My body feels okay.
And do you look forward to it when you get to go?
Yeah.
So if you didn't have the help to have her ride the horse, would you be able to do it?
I don't think she'd get to do it every session, which is what she's doing right now. And the thing I think that a lot of people don't realize is she's not just riding those horses for fun. This is actually therapy and helping strengthen her muscles. And she has done things this year while riding the horse that she couldn't do even a year ago. And so it's almost detrimental for us to keep having her do this because with her disorder, it's almost like if you don't use it, you lose it. And so if we don't keep her as strong as she possibly can be, she will actually get weaker and progress faster.
You know, we talked about another, something I had no idea about. Lacrosse Archery, by the way, they're sponsoring this Power Hour. I had no idea the connection. So, Josh, I'm going to bring you in on this. Okay, being a sporting kind of guy. Tell us about your connection with Lacrosse Archery.
Lacrosse archery is awesome. It all kind of started, it was Veterans Day last year, I believe, when Leah Coriel, she's the U.S. Paralympic archerist from Lacrosse that went to Rio, she came in and spoke to the La Crescent Elementary School. And the way it all worked out is Addison's special ed teacher was friends with Leah, who trains at Lacrosse Archery. And Addison had talked about wanting to do archery, or at least try it. And Jesse organized it to where Addison met Leah, and then Leah has been training Addison to shoot archery at Lacrosse Archery. We're going almost every Sunday for a while, and Leah's been working with her. And the connection between them all is amazing. Lacrosse Archery is outstanding people. I mean,
They made a bow, didn't they? And what did they make?
Leah gave Addison, it was her son's bow before he grew out of it, and she still had it, so she gave that to Addison. But Lacrosse Archery made Addison her own special arrows.
And what color were those arrows?
Well, I just remember the tips being turquoise,
Oh, they're very colorful.
kind of like Addison's hair.
Oh, yeah. I see you got a little green going on there, but I'm assuming that is a little bit of a fashion statement we got going on.
It was really turquoise. It's fading.
I like it. It looks great. So, tell me about shooting bow. Do you like doing that?
Yeah, only when I don't hit my arm.
Oh, that hurts when you hit your arm.
Yes.
And how about hitting the target? How do you do with hitting the target?
Good.
What is the target? What does it look like?
Well, the outside is blue, the middle is yellow, and there's a big dot in the middle, which is red.
So was your dad right about the color of the tips of the arrows?
Yeah, they were blue, teal, and purple.
Oh, he left out a couple colors. Dad, that's okay.
That happens.
You did very good with it. So our point is, look what happens in this community. Look at the way that you have connections in this community. When you get somebody like Lacrosse Archery behind it and says, you know what? We hear it's going to be your hour. We're there for you. And, then you have the connection of getting Olympians. I mean, that is just
Absolutely.
amazing. And then look at the girls that are sitting behind us here. The Dance Marathon organization from Viterbo. One of those is your teacher?
Yeah,
Your dance teacher?
yeah.
What kind of dance do you do?
I do ballet and hip hop.
You do? All right. Well, that's, and so what day of the week do you do that?
Well, I do it Wednesday and Thursday, one day a week.
Okay, so you do archery, you do dance, you ride some horses. When do you have time for your homework?
After we do all of that.
Oh, you do the fun stuff first. I like your attitude. Excellent. Busy household.
Very busy between the two girls, but we like it. They keep active, and so that's the way we'd like to have it.
We're up to 12 calls. I don't even know
That's
what our goal
awesome.
was, but I
That
think
is
we
so
exceeded it.
That's amazing.
I have no idea at
That's
this point.
amazing.
So awesome.
It's crazy. And you were waiting for and we love her, one of your coworkers to give us a call.
Yeah, I don't know if she's called in or not yet. Deb, if you haven't called in.
Deb and I graduated from high school together.
Deb is great.
She's
City of La
wonderful.
Crescent, all you City of La Crescent workers.
She keeps
Addison's
everybody in
sitting
line,
here.
doesn't she?
She does keep everybody
Yeah.
in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
781-1477. So this would be the time to pick up the phone and give us a call because she'd be home by now.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Give us a call. We appreciate it so much. We're way over on our calls.
That's
amazing.
Great. That's really great. And we want to thank Lacrosse Archery not only for being a sponsor for the Power Hour, but for supporting Addison. And they really have helped her not only in the archery range, but outside of it. And we want to give a little shout out to Leah, who is the Paralympian that kind of introduced her to lacrosse archery, but she has been under the weather and not feeling great and is actually at the VA in Toma, and so we want to say a little hi to her too.
You have a lot of friends. Is it good having a lot of friends?
Yeah.
And we have another friend that should be stopping by. We'll be watching for your
Yes,
friend
I
coming
hope
by. We're up
so.
to 13 calls. 13 calls, 781-1477. And I think we're going to try for 20. Look at your eyes. Should we try for 20? Turn around and see if I heard that right. John, did you say 20?
20, what do you think, guys? Last
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that right because I'm getting a little punchy too. Okay. Well, all right. It's a power hour. Lacrosse Archery is joining in with us. We have the whole family here. Aspen, how are you doing?
Good.
We haven't talked to you a lot. Are you getting ready for Halloween?
Yep.
And what are you going to go as what kind of costume you going to wear?
A cupcake princess.
A cupcake princess. Did your dad pick that out for you?
No.
Oh! Is your dad going to wear a matching cupcake princess outfit?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. What are you going to go? What's your outfit?
I'm going to be a cupcake.
You're going to be the cupcake. I want to see these.
It's
You
cute.
make sure we get some
It's really
pictures.
cute.
Oh,
It's
I'm
really
sure it
cute.
is.
And we made the cupcake costume. Addison actually found it on like YouTube or something. I don't know. So we made the costume, and then we just happened to find a cupcake princess costume.
Well,
to go
of
with it.
course you did.
Right?
So when you're out trick-or-treating, oh, we got another one.
Yay!
When you're out trick-or-treating, what is your very favorite candy to get? Something chocolate?
I like sweet and sour stuff.
Oh, sweet and sour. Oh, like the sweet and sour gummies? Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you like, Aspen?
I like Twix.
Twix is your favorite. Okay.
What does your dad tell you to get when you go to the door?
Reese's.
Apparently, we have a peanut butter man over here.
Gotta love them.
So, obviously, we have people calling in.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. But what if someone is out there trying to make the decision to call in? Well, what would you say?
I would tell them to just pick up the phone and dial and make that donation. And I realize there are so many organizations to donate to, and there are, so many people that are going through hard times, and I get it. Money is tight for everybody and for a lot of people, but honestly, this benefits so many kids in the community that have all sorts of different issues and so many families. And the sad thing is, you always hope that it's not going to be you or a family member, but in the blink of an eye, that can all change. And it could be you, and it could be your daughter or your aunt or your cousin or your niece or your nephew or your grandson. And you just sometimes need the extra help. And it's amazing that we have come from such a good community where this program is here and it's available to families, and we need it. We need it.
You're getting across because now we're up to 15 calls.
That's
15
awesome.
calls and 20. That's
Keep calling. We only need 5 more.
I know, but that's really high, and we're going to work on it. But I
Yeah.
mean, and these
Thumbs up from Addison. She just gave 2
double thumbs up, 2 thumbs up.
thumbs
Oh,
up.
that phone rang again. Did you hear that? So do you think that might be number 16?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to keep you posted. All right. You hang in there with me. Don't leave me. Tell me about the bows.
So when Addison first got diagnosed, they tell you, oh, your child has this, and out the door you go, and we'll see you back in 6 months. And you're like, what? And so we were introduced to another family at the time we were living in Iowa that lived a couple hours from us. And they had a daughter who was diagnosed about a year earlier and close to Addison in age. And so we met them. We've stayed at their house a few times. We've gone to each other's fundraisers. And they made these bows, and they gave Addison, she's got a blue one and a pink one and a brown one and a black one. And we wear them at a lot of the different fundraising events that we go to.
What do they say?
It says Cure SMA.
Oh, I can see that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and while ultimately for us, like our hope and our prayer is that one day there will be a cure or a treatment for Addison, you also have to live in the now. And now we need help for certain things. And sometimes that's hard to swallow. We're both, 2 working parents, middle class, but we still need help. And it's just nice to know that there are organizations that can step in and fill those gaps when you need a little bit extra money so that your child can participate in these things that are so detrimental.
And by sharing your story, you're giving back. That's what you're doing. And we appreciate that so much. What happens when they call you, when Children's Miracle Network Hospitals volunteers or the staff calls and says, we need you? What do you do?
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Without really, any question or thinking about it. And when Addison actually, someone that works here at Gunderson and is also another neighbor of ours, called us and asked if it would be okay if she nominated Addison to be a Children's Miracle Network hero for this year. And she's not anyone that's ever seen Addison in the medical field, but just kind of knew her and knew her story and knew, that we came here. And we were like, sure, that would be cool. And then they called and asked if she would be interested in it. And she was like, yeah, absolutely.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
You know what? We're up to 16 calls, I think. We're 16 right now. We're after 4 more.
Woohoo!
I think we can do it. Don't you?
Yeah.
Would you like to ask people to please call?
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask them. Say, please call.
Please call.
I think that's a good idea. 781-1477, 1-800-853-6889. We are going to finish this thing off on a really high note. Just a few more. We'll get there. We'll get
so
there.
close.
Yep.
So
We'll get
yep.
there.
Yep. We
So
will.
close.
Yep. So close, and we'll get there. Now we're going to be here tomorrow from 8 until 3. And so we'll, have our third day, but we want to finish the second day way up here for the kids.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We've had a great day today.
We actually have a little buddy, a little connection that's closing out the day tomorrow.
Oh, tell us.
So Justice,
Yes?
that will be on here to end it out. Actually, Justice is a buddy of Aspen's and was in Aspen's class last year.
Really?
So yay for Justice.
Yay for justice.
He was in the hospital, I think, just recently. I'm not sure if he's still here or not, but I know that he was here just recently. So
He was at school today.
He was at school?
today. That's great.
All right,
But I know
that's good.
he's been in and out a lot. His cancer came back, and so it's just great that he also benefits from Children's Miracle Network. It's after your child gets diagnosed with something like this, you become close with the other families and the other children. And so for us, it's not just about Addison, it's about all these other families and all these other kids. And some families might not be as well off as we are, and they may need more help. And it's just awesome to hear about all the different things that Children's Miracle Network does for all the different families.
We had a mom this morning, and I can't tell you which one it was, but what she said was she started a Facebook page because her child has a disease that's not very common. She has heard from people in Australia. She has heard from people in Canada, because these are newly diagnosed families that don't know where to turn. And what they do is they don't really share a lot of medical terminology. What they do is, this is how I got through the morning. This is how I got to the grocery store. So she is hearing from people all over the place. And then she said, and then I heard from somebody in Sparta.
Yeah.
So, across, you wouldn't even think that you would find somebody from Australia that would be saying, I'm going to go ahead and Facebook this mom in Wisconsin.
Right.
And now they have this instant connection. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. We're part of quite a few different groups, like on Facebook or through some other community websites, and that's kind of how you get through it. That's kind of how you learn to take care of your child and how to help them. There's things with Addison that I wouldn't have even known to ask a doctor about or questioned without other parents telling us, you need to do this or you need to do that.
All of a sudden, you feel like you have a little more in common.
Yeah.
You have a lot more in common.
People that you never
Yes.
would have talked to before.
781-1477. Don't you guys worry. We have until 6 o'clock. So we are going to take these calls. They'll come in. You've done awesome. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Excellent, because that's the name of the game. And we really feel good that you guys came and spent some time with us today. It's really fun hanging out with you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for helping us out at the parade.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Little inside story there. All right, 781-1477. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network radio auction, and this is a service of... One moment, please. I think we have something happening over here. Do we have a friend come to visit?
I think
Can we
I
just
see
hang
a
on before we...
friend.
Yeah, come over and see us. Is this Joey?
This is our neighbor boy and Addison's friend, Joey.
Hi, Joey. How are you?
Good.
So you're neighbors to these guys. So that's your friend over there? Your friend Addison? Yeah. Tell me something. Are you 10 years old now?
Yes.
Did you have a birthday party?
Yeah.
So here's another question. Instead of your friends bringing you presents, what did you ask your friends to do at your birthday party?
To donate to the Children's Miracle Network.
A
I know.
10-year-old.
Heartbreaking. I'll probably cry.
So what do you have in your hand? Come on, Mom. You can come over here, proud mama. Come on.
200.
You have $200. Oh, my gosh. So, Joey's mom, we're going to talk to you in a minute. What's your first name? Jill. Jill. Oh, Jill. Here, there's a mic. So, Jill, was this Joey's idea?
Yeah, it was kind of a collective idea. His older brother has actually, we've had several kids impacted by a series of things in the La Crescent community. His brother actually had the opportunity to help a child with cancer a few years ago by doing the same thing, and then another high school child who unfortunately we lost this summer in La Crescent as well over a couple of birthdays. And so Joey decided this year was his turn, and he decided that Addison was who he wanted to do it, and he gave her the choice of, because she does a lot of work for with the MDA Association as well too, and she said since she was the hero this year, this was definitely what she wanted to do.
Addison, would you like to say thank you to Joey?
Thank you, Joey.
You guys are great. You guys are amazing. It just gives me goosebumps. You know, I mean, thank you for being such a wonderful young man, and for being so generous. Instead of gifts, there you are with a donation to Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. And you know what else you did? You gave it to us on a power hour, which is really a good thing, thanks to Lacrosse Archery. We appreciate it so much. You are a wonderful young man. You've raised a great boy.
Thank you very much. We
Thank
need to
you.
make sure to thank all of Joey's friends and their parents who all were very supportive of this. I'm
How
really
was the
excited
party?
too.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Did you get to have some birthday cake?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure you did. Thank you, 10-year-old. You're a great guy. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Jill, for bringing him in.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. One more.
Okay.
We need one more call.
Okay, well, then we're just going to I was going to excuse you guys. I guess I'm not.
No,
I
that's
guess I'm going to
okay.
hang you.
No,
we're
that's
gonna,
okay.
Yeah, we have 19 calls. We're going to go for one more.
We need one more call.
Can you hang in there with us? Can we do it?
We can
I
do
think
this.
we
I
can
think
do
we can
it.
get one more call. There's somebody out there that's going to make a
The
donation.
thing is, if a 10-year-old boy is willing
I-
to give up all of his birthday gifts to get donations,
There
then
it is.
somebody out there can donate.
I think so.
So awesome.
Oh,
Super
thank you
awesome.
so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thanks,
having us.
you.
thanks for letting us get to know your family.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much.
It's a Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, and we are a service of the Lacrosse Radio Group.